Life has a way of testing us when we least expect it. There are moments when the weight of the world feels unbearable, when doors close, people leave, and plans fall apart. In those moments, it's easy to think that we've been forgotten, that maybe we're not meant for much, but the truth is deeper, stronger, and far more powerful than the pain you feel right now. God is preparing you for something greater, and the process you're in is not punishment, it's preparation. Every delay, every disappointment, and every detour is a part of your development. You see, before you step into something great, you have to be shaped for it, just like a diamond is formed under pressure, your character. Your strength and your faith are being refined through the trials you're facing. You're being molded to carry something heavy, something divine, something that will require the version of you that's still being built right now. Sometimes God doesn't change your situation immediately because He's using the situation to change you. You might be asking for breakthrough, but God is giving you building. You're praying for blessings, but God is giving you growth. You're asking, why me? But one day you'll look back and say, thank you, God, for choosing me. Because what felt like a breakdown was actually a setup for your breakthrough. Trust the process, even when it doesn't make sense. The path to greatness is rarely smooth. It's filled with moments of silence where God seems distant, seasons where progress feels slow, and times where faith is the only thing keeping you moving forward. But those are the moments that make you unshakable. Those are the days that turn belief into conviction and conviction into destiny. Maybe you've been working hard but haven't seen results. Maybe you've been faithful but feel forgotten. Maybe the dream you once carried now feels impossible. But I'm here to remind you, delay is not denial. What God has for you is not gone. It's just not ready yet. And neither are you. Not until the lessons are learned, not until the roots are deep enough to hold the weight of your calling. When you plant a seed, you don't see anything for a while. The soil looks the same, but beneath the surface, growth is happening. Roots are spreading. Foundations are forming. That's what God is doing in your life right now. He's working in the unseen. He's building something within you that can last. And when the time is right, when the season comes, you'll rise stronger, wiser, and more prepared than ever before. So don't rush what God is perfecting. Don't quit in the middle of your process. Every trial has a purpose. Every setback hides a setup. And every ending God allows is making space for a greater beginning. One day you'll stand where you once struggled and you'll realize the waiting was worth it. The pain had a purpose. The lessons made you ready because God was never breaking you. He was building you. So keep the faith, keep moving forward. Keep trusting that even when you can't see it, He's working, because your story isn't over. It's only just beginning. And what's coming next will make sense of everything you've been through. When life starts to feel heavy, when things fall apart and the path ahead becomes unclear, it's natural to question what's happening. You start asking, why is this happening to me? Why do I keep facing the same struggles? Why can't things just work out? But what if the pain you're experiencing isn't meant to punish you? What if it's meant to prepare you? Sometimes what feels like the end of something is actually the beginning of transformation. God doesn't waste pain. He uses it as a tool to shape you, strengthen you, and prepare you for something far beyond what you can currently see. Every season of struggle carries a purpose that often becomes clear only in hindsight. The problem is, we often want the promise without the process. We want the blessing without the building. We want the results without the refinement. But greatness doesn't come through comfort. It comes through challenge. You can't step into a higher level of life with the same strength, patience, and mindset you had before. The things that seem to be breaking you are actually building the version of you that's ready for the next chapter. Think about it this way: before gold can shine, it must go through the fire. Before a seed can grow, it must be buried in darkness. And before you can rise into your purpose, you must walk through seasons that test and stretch your faith. The waiting, the silence, the moments when nothing seems to make sense, those are not signs that you've been forgotten. They're signs that something greater is being developed within you. God allows pressure not to crush you, but to form something strong enough to carry your destiny. When you pray for strength, God doesn't hand it to you instantly. He gives you challenges that teach you how to be strong. When you ask for patience, He doesn't give you calm circumstances. He gives you delays that force you to wait and trust. When you ask for purpose, He takes you through experiences that refine your heart and deepen your understanding of who you are. It's not punishment, it's preparation. You're being equipped for something you cannot yet handle in your current state. In those moments when you feel like giving up, remember, diamonds are made under pressure. The same heat that melts wax hardens clay. What you're going through isn't meant to break you. It's meant to shape you into something unshakable. You might not see the purpose right now, but God is sculpting your life with precision. Every disappointment, every rejection, every closed door is redirecting you toward what's truly meant for you. It's easy to trust when everything's going right. Real faith begins when everything seems to go wrong. That's when you have to remind yourself that pain is temporary, but purpose is eternal. That's when you realize that God's silence doesn't mean his absence. It means he's working in ways you can't see. The process is where your strength is born, where your faith matures, and where your true potential begins to surface. One day, when you look back, you'll understand why certain things had to happen the way they did. You'll see how every delay was divine timing, how every setback was a setup, and how every heartbreak was clearing space for something better. You'll realize that you were never being punished. You were being prepared. And when you finally step into that greater season, when the doors open and the blessings flow, you'll recognize that it was the process that made you ready to carry it. Because sometimes the greatest gift God gives isn't what he delivers to your hands. It's what he develops inside your heart. There's a beauty in the hidden seasons of life, the ones that no one sees, the times when you feel invisible, unnoticed, or forgotten. Those are the moments that test your patience and your faith the most. You pray, you work, you give your best, and still it seems like nothing is moving forward. But what if I told you that in those very moments when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when God is doing his most important work? Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean there isn't growth. Some of the most powerful transformations happen in silence, in darkness, and in solitude. Think about the process of a seed. Once it's planted, it disappears beneath the soil. From the surface, it looks like nothing is happening, but under that soil, everything is happening. Roots are spreading, strength is forming, and life is being prepared for its moment to break through. If you were to dig it up too soon because you got tired of waiting, you would destroy the process before the harvest could even begin. That's exactly how God works in your life. The hidden seasons are not a waste. They are where your foundation is built. The roots of your faith, discipline, and strength are being established deep beneath the surface so that when you rise unshakably. We often crave visibility and results. We want others to see our progress. We want signs that our prayers are being answered. But God values depth over display. He knows that if you rise too quickly without roots, the first storm will knock you down. So he hides you for a time, not to hold you back, but to hold you together, to make sure that when you step into your purpose, you'll be strong enough to sustain it. Growth in secret prepares you for greatness in public. In those seasons when life feels still, when progress feels invisible, that's when your faith is tested and refined. It's easy to believe when you see results, but it takes true faith to trust when you see nothing. God uses silence to teach you patience, solitude to teach you strength, and waiting to teach you trust. You're not being overlooked, you're being developed. God is preparing you quietly because what's coming will speak loudly. Sometimes the reason you're not being seen right now is because it's not yet time for your unveiling. God is protecting you from premature exposure, from situations, people, or opportunities that might harm your growth. If you were to step into your next level before being ready, the weight of that blessing could crush you instead of elevate you. That's why hidden seasons are sacred. They are where God matures your heart, clarifies your vision, and strengthens your spirit. So when it feels like nothing is happening, remind yourself that roots grow before branches spread. That's the order of life. The deeper the roots, the taller the tree, the stronger your foundation, the higher you can rise. Every unseen effort, every quiet prayer, every small act of obedience is contributing to your unseen growth. The world might not applaud it, but heaven notices every step. There will come a time when everything you've endured in silence will bloom in full view. The people who doubted you will see the fruit of the patience you planted. The prayers that once seemed unanswered will suddenly make perfect sense. You'll realize that God was not ignoring you. He was growing you. He was preparing your heart for the weight of the purpose that's ahead. Don't despise the hidden seasons. Embrace them. That's where your roots are strengthened. Your character is purified and your faith is made unshakable. You may not see it now, but deep beneath the surface, your future is already taking shape. And when the time comes, you won't just rise. You'll rise strong, steady, and unstoppable because the hidden work within you was divinely built to last. There are moments in life when it feels like everything you've been hoping for is slipping further away. You've prayed, you've worked hard, and you've stayed faithful, yet the results you desire seem delayed. In those moments, frustration begins to whisper that maybe it's not meant to be. But here's the truth. Delay is not denial. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. God's timing is not like ours. What you perceive as delay might be divine protection, preparation, or alignment. He's not saying now. He's often saying not yet. And that not yet carries wisdom you may not understand right now, but will one day thank him for. Sometimes we think we're ready for what we've been praying for, but God sees what we can. He knows the weight of the blessing we're asking for. And he also knows whether our character, patience, and maturity can handle it. The delay you're experiencing is not a sign that you've been forgotten. It's evidence that you're being equipped. God doesn't want to give you something that will crumble because your foundation isn't strong enough to hold it. Before he brings the promise, he strengthens the person who will carry it. We live in a world that worships speed. We want everything instantly, but divine timing doesn't operate on human deadlines. You might think you're falling behind, but God knows exactly where you're meant to be. Every delay has a reason. Maybe he's still preparing the opportunity. Maybe he's working in someone else's heart. Maybe he's protecting you from something you can't yet see. Sometimes the very thing you think is holding you back is actually saving you from unnecessary pain. When you face delay, it's easy to get discouraged, but delay is the season where faith grows. It's where trust deepens and dependence on God becomes real. When you can't see progress but still choose to believe, that's when your faith becomes unshakable. That's when you learn to surrender your timeline for God's. Because if he gave you everything you asked for exactly when you asked for it, you'd never learn the power of patience, the beauty of surrender, or the strength of faith. Imagine waiting for a sunrise. You can't rush it. You can't make it appear before its time. All you can do is stay still and trust that the light will come, because it always does. That's how God's timing works. You can't force it, but you can prepare for it. You can strengthen your spirit, build your discipline, and keep your faith steady. Because when the time comes, everything that felt delayed will align perfectly, and you'll realize that it didn't come late. It came right on time. So don't let the waiting discourage you. Don't allow delay to make you doubt your destiny. The waiting room is where God refines your character, redefines your vision, and readies your heart. The reason your blessing hasn't arrived yet is because the story isn't finished. There are still details being written that you can't see. You're not waiting in vain. You're waiting with purpose. The truth is, some of God's greatest blessings are slow to arrive because they're being crafted with care. The wait is not wasted time. It's preparation time. Every moment of delay is building something within you that instant success never could. So when the doors finally open, when the opportunity arrives, when the prayer is answered, you'll be ready, steady, and grateful because you'll know it was worth every second of waiting. Don't mistake silence for absence or waiting for rejection. God hasn't forgotten you. He's aligning everything, your path, your purpose, and your promise, so that when it happens, it will happen beautifully, powerfully, and perfectly in his time. There's a truth we often overlook when life becomes difficult. The very things that challenge us the most, the same things that shape us the most. Every hardship, every disappointment, every painful season carries a lesson designed to transform us. You see, growth never happens in comfort. The people who become strong, wise, and resilient are not those who have had it easy, but those who have walked through the fire and refused to give up. The trials you face are not there to destroy you. They're there to develop you. Before God elevates you, he refines you. Before he gives you the blessing, he strengthens you to carry it. That's what transformation through trials truly means. When life hurts, our first instinct is to ask for escape. We want relief, not resistance. But what if the resistance is exactly what's making you stronger? Think about a weightlifter. They don't grow by lifting light weights. They grow by pushing against heavy ones. In the same way, every obstacle you face is spiritual resistance training. It's building endurance, patience, humility, and strength within you. Without trials, you'd never know how capable you really are. Without challenges, you'd never discover the depth of your own faith. The truth is, pain has a purpose. It exposes weaknesses, reveals priorities, and redefines what truly matters. Sometimes God allows you to walk through seasons of pressure because pressure reveals character. When everything is easy, you can pretend to have faith, but when everything falls apart and you still choose to trust, that's when faith becomes real. When you keep moving forward, even when it hurts, that's when transformation begins. The pain becomes the pathway to purpose. Every great story includes struggle. Every great destiny requires a desert. If you look at anyone who's accomplished something meaningful, you'll find a trail of trials behind them, moments of doubt, heartbreak, loss, and perseverance. Those moments didn't disqualify them, they prepared them. The same is true for you. God will use your pain as preparation for your promise. The very thing you think will break you may be the thing that builds you into who you were meant to become. There's something powerful about what happens inside you when you go through a storm and survive it. You come out stronger, wiser, more grounded. You learn to depend less on what you can control and more on the faith that sustains you. You stop chasing comfort and start embracing growth. You stop asking, why me? And start saying, what can I learn from this? That shift in mindset is where true transformation begins. It's also important to understand that trials don't mean God has abandoned you. In fact, they often mean He's closest to you. A teacher is quiet during the test, not because they've left, but because they're watching to see what you've learned. God works the same way. The silence isn't absence, it's observation. He's watching your endurance, your trust, and your heart. And when the time is right, He'll lift you higher, not because of luck, but because you've been prepared through perseverance. When the storm finally passes and you look back, you'll realize that the pain wasn't wasted. Every tear, every setback, every sleepless night served a purpose. It all contributed to building a stronger, wiser, more faithful version of you. What once felt like breaking was really shaping. What once felt like loss was actually making room for greater gain. So when life gets heavy, don't run from it, rise through it. Remind yourself that this isn't punishment, it's preparation. You're being refined, not rejected. Every trial is building your testimony. And one day, you'll look back at the battles you thought would end you and realize they were the very things that equipped you to step into your destiny. Transformation doesn't happen when everything goes right. It happens when you decide to keep going, even when everything goes wrong. There comes a time in everyone's life when the pain feels too deep, the loss too great, and the silence too long. You wonder if what you're going through has any meaning at all. The weight on your shoulders feels unbearable, and you start to ask yourself, why is this happening to me? But what if the pain you feel right now isn't meant to destroy you, but to shape you? What if every struggle, every disappointment, every heartbreak is part of a larger plan that's molding you into the person you were always meant to become? The truth is, pain always has a purpose. Even when you can't see it yet, pain teaches you what comfort never could. It gives depth to your faith, strength to your spirit, and compassion to your heart. The lessons you learn in the dark will become the light that guides you forward. You see, anyone can believe when life is easy, but true strength is born when life is hard and you still choose to rise. Pain doesn't mean God has abandoned you. It often means He's doing His most important work within you. It's the refining fire that removes what no longer serves you so that what's pure and strong can remain. Think about a sculptor working on a block of marble. To the untrained eye, it looks like destruction, pieces being chipped away, broken, and scattered. But the sculptor knows exactly what he's doing. Every strike of the hammer is intentional. He's not destroying the stone. He's revealing the masterpiece within it. That's what God is doing with you. Every painful moment, every loss, every trial is shaping you into who you were created to be. You may not understand the process now, but one day when you look back, you'll realize that the pain was the tool that carved your strength. Pain also has a way of awakening us. It opens our eyes to what really matters. It humbles us. It teaches us to appreciate what we once took for granted. Love, peace, health, and hope. It connects us to others because pain is universal. It reminds us that we're human. And through it, we learn empathy, patience, and understanding. The pain you're feeling today will one day help you heal others who are going through the same thing. Your story of survival will become someone else's source of strength. It's important to remember that pain doesn't last forever. Seasons change, wounds heal, and even the deepest sorrow eventually turns into wisdom. But in the middle of the storm, it's hard to see that. That's why faith matters. Faith is what helps you hold on when nothing makes sense. Faith whispers, keep going when your heart wants to quit. It reminds you that even though you can't see the full picture, God can, and He never wastes a single tear. Every test you face, every loss you endure, every moment of struggle is building resilience within you. You are being strengthened even when it feels like you're breaking. You are being transformed even when all you can feel is pain. The process may be hard, but it's producing something beautiful. One day, the same pain that once made you cry will make you wise, strong, and grateful. You'll see that it wasn't punishment. It was preparation. So don't run from the pain. Let it teach you. Let it shape you. Let it push you closer to your purpose, because every scar tells a story. Every tear carries wisdom, and every challenge builds the foundation of who you're meant to be. You may not see it now, but this pain is leading you towards something greater. And when you finally reach that place of peace and purpose, you'll look back and realize that every moment of struggle had meaning, that every bit of pain was necessary for the person you've become.